Welcome back to Bet Racing Nation here on Sky 212. Obviously now ahead of us we're going to preview Royal Ascot. We've selected 3 or 4 races, maybe 5 if we get time. So let's talk about the Queen Anne Stakes.
Great day on the first day.
It always is, isn't it? It's a great day. Probably the best day, yeah.
Are we all for Tornado?
I'm not, no. I don't think you can justify backing a horse at even money odds on. It hasn't had a run this year, running against a horse like Verrazano, who's race fit. Olympic Glory, if he turns up, is definitely race fit. Tullius is race fit. It's a big ask to win a Group 1 like this at Royal Ascot, first time out.
As it proved as good, I mean, we look back at the Sussex Stakes at Goodwood and we thought, well, we've got one here, but has it proved it since?
See, I think the Sussex was probably questionably one of the best races all last season.
Oh, it's a fantastic race.
Yeah, no, but you had 2 of the best horses taking each other on, and obviously Tornado won, but I think it probably took more out of both horses than we saw on the day, and neither really performed afterwards. You know, it was probably such a good race that it. You know, we often say about horses winning the Gold Cup and different races like that. They don't come back if they've had such a hard race, and I think that was probably one of them kind of races. So for Tornado coming back after a long absence,
and it's the first race as well.
But it wouldn't bother me. We saw Olympic Glory coming back to run in the Lockinge a few weeks ago from Richard Hannons, and he had no problem. You know, he hacked up in the Lockinge, and people say he didn't stay the following week when he ran 8 days later. I would have said he probably bounced rather than than didn't stay, because it's only 9 furlongs. It's only an extra furlong. The way he won the Lockinge, he would have won over a mile and a half. But yeah, Tornado for me, I think he was the class horse last year. Hughesy has said in his column that he's come on for the winter. He looks great. He's had racecourse gallops. He'll be fit, and I think he's the one we all have to beat.
I think he is. Aidan O'Brien's won this race 3 out the last 10 years and has a very interesting runner here.
Yeah, I'm disappointed to actually agree with you on this with Verrazano. He was one of my favourite horses when he was running back in America, but
on dirt,
on dirt, Billy.
Billy loves the dirt. Billy, put the blinkers on, Billy, and send him on the dirt racing.
Yeah, Verrazano. Then he came over here. I was intrigued more like to see how he takes to the turf. And in the Lockinge, he seemed no problems with it whatsoever. And you'd have to think he's going to come on for that initial first run in England or UK.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, Declaration of War won this last year. I think Verrazano could still be progressive on this side of the pond anyway, and could take a hell of a lot of beating.
Do we think Olympic Glory will actually take on?
Knock the ground is. Well, now the rain's going to go a little bit after yesterday. There's a possibility.
It could dry out between now and Tuesday.
Yeah, it will. Ascot's one of the best drying tracks in the country. It'll probably be good to firm in places on Tuesday, I would imagine.
I mean, and also the run in France, you can't disclose. Even though Olympic Glory did beat Verrazano, you can't ignore that run in France, can you?
No. It was against Cyrus Zeglis as well, who's he's the best Group 1 horse.
Yeah, exactly. He's coming on the coronation.
Shows how great Frankel was, but anyway.
You can't crab him whatsoever, but Olympic Glory, I don't know, I know it sounds silly saying it, I'm just not overly convinced that he's top class. Like, being able to beat Tornado, or maybe even a fully race with Verrazano as well. I'm just not overly
I don't think it's just between them two either.
We've got
soft form and rain, second in the Group 2 Godolphin Mile at Maidan last time.
The worrying thing about him is Mike de Kock's come out and said that he's a few days behind schedule and he's not quite right yet.
Again, how much do you read into that? You know, if he's not right, they won't run. So if he runs, I'm sure he thinks he's going to.
He has provided alternatives.
I want to get through a couple more of these races. So selection for the 2:30 Queen Anne at Royal Ascot.
Tornado.
Verrazano.
I think Tornado's worried that they had an autumn campaign planned, which never happened. But I think you'd have to go with him. You wouldn't back him now at the odds.
He did have breathing problems in that last year, Billy, and stuff like that as well. So we don't know if he's had a breathing operation or not.
It comes down to vibes a little bit, doesn't it? You want some good vibes from the stable on the day.
There seems to be great vibes. If you read Hughes's column this morning, he's very excited.
Oh, so it's 2-2 because I'm going to I agree with Luke and go for Verrazano. So I suppose the casting vote will go to our guy in Twitter Corner. And believe it or not, yes, he is over 18. He's 25. Ever sad in Twitter Corner.
All my dark secrets being revealed live on air. I don't know, Peter. We'll have to do some of yours later. Now, guys, coming up to this race, you can get best price 6 to 5 with Tornado to win. That's with Boyle Sports. How much they'll lay, you'll have to find out. If you were one of these big hitters that like to try and pile into these sort of sure things, some people think of them as, it's 6 to 5 best price. Elsewhere in the marketplace, you're looking at evens. There's a little bit of odds against as well, but 6 to 5 Boyle Sport stands out. Second favourite, you've got 4 to 1 with Paddy Power, if you agree with Luke and Peter on that particular horse. So if you want to take it on, you want to look at a potential value angle, who knows, maybe an each way thief if you can get quarter of the odds. Other horses in the race that we mentioned, Soft Falling Rain, 8 to 1 best price. And the weirdest one in the betting, I do think, is Olympic Glory. When you look that you can get 7 to 1, 15 to 2 in play, 9 to 1 even with Stan James, yet it's as short as 5 to 1 in places as well. So I think that's one that the bookies, maybe some of them want to keep on side. I'm not so sure. Keep your 4 picks coming in for Ascot. Remember, it's just any 4 horses in any 4 races. If you can get all 4 of them up, we're going to give you some cash. So you can't say fairer than that. I'm going to read some out once the panel have gone through the next race. At Ascot, we're going to preview. Back to Peter.
Absolutely, and we're going to stay on the Tuesday. Get your pens and papers out, because now this is a real classic draw. This is the St James's Palace Stakes between Kingman and Knight and Thunder. And Tom Merritt, who sits in this chair from time to time, actually predicted that Knight of Thunder would win the Guineas. Where do we stand on this? Or do we find a pretty big one, or Jimmy's Gem somewhere? Is it a straight match?
No, I don't think it is. No horse is a 2-horse race, in my opinion.
This one is
This one,
apart from this one.
Yeah.
What about War Command? One of the most impressive winners of the Coventry last year. Absolutely bolted up over 6.
Walkerman's got a lot to prove.
Yeah, he has, but I mean,
yeah,
but he still won the Futurity. He won a Dewhurst at the end of the year. For
And
me, he's only got one bad run to go to reverse.
Again, he needs faster ground as well. As been mentioned, the rain that's falling won't help, but then obviously we're still at Tuesday. You mentioned it's a very fast drying track.
It's one of the most drying.
But then that would put in question Kingman, because we know before the Guineas there were worries about the ground there.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's firm in the description if Kingman runs. You know, John Gosden has said he has had problems with his knees. He was late getting to the track as a 2-year-old. Different things like that. He might struggle, you know, if it's firm.
Yeah, it's.
You like Knight of Thunder then? Is that where we're going towards? You like War Command, but where's Billy? You're looking, Billy.
No,
you found something at the bottom of the hand.
I can't understand how Kingman is officially rated 125 and Knight of Thunder is only 120. Where's the £5 difference between them? I mean, Knight of Thunder beat Kingman fair and square in the English.
And Veered
yeah. So that's another length, another pound.
Yeah.
And he's still £5 inferior to him.
One thing I'd like to mention about Kingman is that people were saying, maybe talking through their pockets on the day, that they were saying that he didn't get the run of the race. He did. He followed Nuzo Canaris as the pacemaker the whole way, had the perfect lead into the race. Nuzo Canaris probably dropped away a furlong and a half out, a furlong out, which is exactly when you want to try and pick it up and really go for it. Knight of Thunder just not outclassed him, probably outspeeded him at the end of the race. And I think people are just trying to make up too many excuses for Kingman.
Billy's itching.
I'm going to put my neck on the line. I'd be surprised if Knight of Thunder beats Kingman. I really would.
Oh, this is being recorded.
I think people say, well, Knight of Thunder veered across the track and he still won. I don't see that as a positive, you know. I don't see that as a positive thing. That's a negative thing. He veered across the track. That's a big worry. Kingman was so impressive in Ireland.
I think it is a positive because he only veered across the track because Kieran Fallon really got stuck into him, gave him 2 slaps on the right-hand side. If Richard Hughes...
Let's not forget that on the day he was the second choice.
Yeah,
because Kieran Fallon
and Turmore looks certain to go to France.
Miss France might end up going as well. There's quite a few that might be going there.
But Kingman's straightforward. You watch him in Ireland, it's nice and straightforward. You watch the Guineas, the English Guineas.
Yeah, but they came in 2 groups in the Guineas, Billy, which wouldn't help. You know what I mean?
No.
Again, some of these have only had 2 or 3 runs. I see that when you race in Ascot, they will probably go up the far side. And, you know what I mean, there won't be a huge field, so he won't have, like Husey, I wouldn't say will have any problems in getting a bit of cover, like he always does.
But quickly on your point about Walkerman, I mean, I sort of laughed it off, but at the end of the day, that's probably the best price value in this race, 10 to 1. Ascot can be a sort of horses for courses again.
Like anyway,
and if you look at that Coventry Stakes last year and said, right, if he's going to run exactly to the same level in this race, you'd say he'd have a great chance.
Yeah, definitely. At the prices, he's the each-way value for sure.
Mention one quickly at a big price that me and you are big fans of, Outstrip at 25 to 1.
Yes.
Ran horribly in the Guineas, but then it was found the day after that he scoped poorly.
And the trainer wasn't going for a great spill then either.
If he can forgive that run, 25 to 1 on faster ground, he's got to have a huge chance. So let's not forget he's a Breeders' Cup winner.
I absolutely agree. If you're looking for an outsider, that is the outsider to look at.
Okay. So an outsider definitely is Outstrip, but who are we going to go for in this cracking race?
I'm going to stick with Night of Thunder.
Yeah. Night of Thunder?
I'm really keen on Night of Thunder.
But I'm really keen on Kingman.
Okay. Well, there's 3-1 there because I'm going for Night of Thunder. But I do take your point, Jimmy, that War Command could well put previous disappointments aside and run really well on Tuesday. Let's go over to Sam in Twitter Corner, see what everyone else is tweeting in.
Yeah, I'll run through the odds in a moment, but let's just get some of your 4 picks that we've run the competition for. 92 AJR's gone for my 4 Royal Ascot choices. Arvenzano, Night of Thunder, so another one for Night of Thunder there. Trev and Leading Light. I've also, let's have a look there. Oh yeah, BPS Systems gone for Night of Thunder, Leading Light, Slay Power and Maitana. There's also, we've got Jamie Brownlow, he's gone for Tornado, Cool Company, Night of Thunder and Ammunition, which is quite an interesting 4 to have there. Now guys, keep those coming in because it's a free prize, free to enter. If you think you can pick 4 winners, you're laughing. On the actual odds for the St James's Palace, Kingman, best price 11 to 10 with Hills, Bet365 and Stan James and Betfred there. Night of Thunder, if you want to follow our panel suggestion, which the majority are going for, you'd be looking at 9 to 4. In most places you can hunt out a little bit of supposed value if you believe the hype. The one I like is War Command. It's a shame that the ground's gone a little bit softer because I'd like it sort of rattling. But 10 to 1 best price with Boyle Sports if you want something each way. They've mentioned Outstripped, a huge price potentially, 25 to 1. So if you just want to have a small bet on the race for interest, maybe Outstripped is the way to go. Keep your Ascot views coming in. And also we've had a few of you tweet in about those views on would midweek racing be a good thing if we bought back some of the more quality cards. A lot of you saying to me, well, I can't get to racing on any other day other than a Saturday. So I see both sides to that argument. I had a fantastic day at York yesterday on a Friday and it seemed to be a good compromise. A few people taking half days off work to come enjoy the racing. Huge crowd, good value for money. I'll pass you back over to the panel.
Very interesting point, and we'll probably do a special feature on that point and get Jeff Banks back on. Apologies for any sound interference you may have received at home. But coming up in the next part, we're going to dissect a couple of more races at Royal Ascot. A fantastic week ahead, which starts on Tuesday. We've got the Prince of Wales Stakes we're going to talk about, and the Gold Cup, and I've got quite a strong viewpoint on the Gold Cup and one of my selections in that race. Now, away from this channel on Sky 212, don't forget we have a number of clips on YouTube, and last week we interviewed Richard Hughes and Pat Heddery, that's on YouTube, and there's a number of other items. Earlier on in the year we discussed everything that you can find us on that YouTube channel, Bet Racing Nation TV. But anyway, after this very short break, we're going to cover more of Royal Ascot.